Today we're going to do a Tab S10 Ultra day in the life review. That means that it's going to be my primary device for everything that I do throughout my day. I've had the Tab S10 Ultra since before it was released, and today we're going to talk about how I use it. We'll look at the AI features, we'll talk about some pros and cons, keep track of battery life, and then as always, I'm going to focus on things that actually matter for real users. And thank you to Walmart for sponsoring a portion of this video. All right, so this year we have two sizes to choose from, the 12.4-inch Tab S10 Plus, and then the larger 14.6-inch Tab S10 Ultra. In terms of features, they're essentially the same, but there are a few important things to consider. The Ultra is the biggest tablet that Samsung makes, and I love having such a large display with me when I'm on the go or when I travel. So for me, this super thin form factor is a real benefit. Now, as far as weight, I always carry my tablet in a backpack. So for me, it's not really an issue, and neither is the larger size. But if you carry your tablet in a smaller bag or in a purse, that's something that you may want to take into account, and maybe the smaller Tab S10 Plus is a better option. Now, I've gotten questions about whether I've had issues with this tablet bending, and I always admit that I'm not super careful with my gear, and still I haven't had any issues at all. So when I travel, I have it in backpacks and suitcases. I've used it in hotels and airports, on airplanes, and then obviously outside, and so far it's held up great. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the day started with a quick breakfast, and then a quick stop at a coffee shop so I can answer some emails, do some work on a few projects that I have going on, and then reply to your comments. Now, one of the things that I really like is that the Tab S10 Ultra and the stylus have an IP68 rating, so I have protection from water and dust. Now, this is great both when I'm on the go and at home because I don't have to worry about any accidental spills. Now, looking at the display, it's absolutely beautiful, and it might be my favorite display of any tablet to watch content on. It's a dynamic AMOLED 2X display, has great color and contrast, super dark blacks, and it has a 16:10 aspect ratio, so it's very close to the dimensions of the content that I'm watching, and it gives me very small letterboxing or black bars on the top and the bottom. Now, this year, Samsung added a really nice anti-reflective coating. If you saw my S24 Ultra day in the life video, you know that I love how anti-reflective that display is. So it's great that Samsung made the Tab S10 Ultra easier to use outside or in environments where you might have to deal with reflections. We're also getting 120 Hz display, so UI animations and any type of scrolling looks super smooth. And at the same time, games that support higher frame rates like PUBG let me go all the way up to 120 FPS, which is really nice. The size of the display is also a huge bonus because whether I'm replying to emails, doing research, or working with multiple apps, I have plenty of screen real estate to work with. Now, one feature that not a lot of users know about is second screen. So if you have a Windows laptop or desktop for that matter, you can use the Tab S10 Ultra as an additional external display, which for me gives an amazing boost in productivity. So for example, right now I have a 16-inch display on the Book 4 Edge and then a 14.6-inch display on the Tab S10 Ultra, and I can either have one app maximized on each screen or have multiple apps open on each device, which is super helpful for me when I'm doing research for a video and I have multiple sources and documents open. Now, for me to use any tablet as a primary device, I need to have a keyboard case. Like, I'm totally fine sending messages or a short email using the on-screen keyboard, but for any type of real work, I need a physical keyboard. I've been using the book cover keyboard and the book cover keyboard Slim, which have worked great for me. If I need the most compact footprint, then I'm going with the keyboard Slim, and if I want a trackpad and more control over the angle of the display, then the regular book cover keyboard works better. You actually can use the ones that were designed for the Tab S9 Ultra if you already have one, and if you don't, the new models of both keyboards now have a dedicated AI button, so if they're all the same price, definitely get the new ones. Now, the Slim version works better if you're planning on having it on your lap because the design is much more sturdy. Both keyboards have a full row of function keys, they don't require a charge, and I like that with the regular book cover keyboard, you can separate the keyboard from the back if you just want a stand. Now, of course, the S Pen is included with the price of the Tab S10 Ultra, so you don't have to spend any additional money like you do with some other brands. And whether I'm sketching, marking up documents, or taking handwritten notes, it's super nice to have a big canvas to work with, especially when I'm on the go. And speaking of things that you need when you're on the go, brings me to today's sponsor, Walmart, where you can find great holiday gifts on walmart.com. So I always use headphones, and the new Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro are absolutely awesome. I love the stem design because they don't fall out of my ear, the audio quality is outstanding, and the noise cancellation is great. If I'm looking for an over-the-ear option, the Sony Alt Wear is an excellent option. We're getting comfortable headphones with top-tier passive and active noise cancellation, great audio quality, and then an alt button when we want to boost the bass. If I want to game on the go, but I don't want to use a tablet, I still want controllers, then the Nintendo Switch OLED lets me take all my favorite games with me anywhere I go. And when I have to shoot some quick footage for my videos and I'm on the go, I use the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. It's super portable, shoots in 4K, and has a built-in gimbal, so my footage is really stable. And finally, when I'm back at home and using my Tab S10 Ultra, I need reliable internet. The EERO MAX 7 is a tri-band mesh router that uses the latest Wi-Fi 7 technology for a fast gaming and streaming experience. And I can add additional hubs to easily expand my wireless network. So if you want to save some money on a holiday gift, make sure that you visit walmart.com, and thank you to Walmart for sponsoring this portion of the video. Now, one of my favorite things with the Tab S10 Ultra is circle to search with Google. So basically you just circle anything on your screen and the tablet will do a Google search for you and show you the results. It's great that instead of having to try to describe an item with words and then do a Google search, you can just have the AI do all the work for you. And I can either circle an item with the S Pen or use my finger. All right, now taking a quick look at battery life, it's 3:45 p.m. and we're still at 89%, which is super nice. Now, as far as biometric authentication, I like that with the Tab S10 Ultra, I have two options. There's a great under-display fingerprint sensor, which has been very reliable and ergonomically is in the perfect spot for how I hold the tablet. Then if you prefer face recognition, you have that option with the front-facing camera. It works really well as long as you have enough light because there's no IR here. Now, just like with the last two models, the front-facing camera module is housed in a notch. It actually includes two 12-megapixel cameras, a wide and an ultra-wide, and here's a quick sample. Here's a camera and microphone test of the Tab S10 Ultra. This should give you a pretty good idea of the type of image quality that you're going to get and the type of audio quality that you should expect. Now, I don't get a lot of question about the notch anymore because this is the third generation, but just in case you're curious, it's not really something that is ever a practical limitation for how I use the tablet. So yes, it's there. If you think it's gonna bother you, go ahead and get the Tab S10 Plus. But again, for me and how I use the tablet, it's never really been an issue. Now, I did say earlier that I mostly use headphones, but if you don't, the speakers are actually really good for a tablet. They're plenty loud and they deliver about as full a sound as I've heard from a tablet. So for example, when I'm doing my workout every morning, I like having the big display on the tablet and loud enough speakers to where I don't have to worry about hearing the instructions. Now let's talk about a few AI features, and we have everything that was introduced with the S24 Ultra and the Tab S9 lineup. You can use Galaxy AI to do things like get solutions to math problems and explanations on how the solutions were reached. You can translate documents and website, you can transcribe and summarize audio files, and even turn my awful sketches into fun images, and you can select different styles for the images that you want created. Now, this is just a glimpse. There's too much AI to include in this one video, so I'm working on a dedicated video to show you more of Galaxy AI. Now, something else that I really appreciate is seeing how Samsung continues to expand its ecosystem with new products like the Galaxy Watch Ultra and the Galaxy Ring. There are also some device-specific AI features like Flex Cam with the Z Flip 6 or real-time interpreter with the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro. All right, so I came back home and I'm going to use the Tab S10 Ultra to work on one of my videos, and this is a good time to talk about processing power. Now, this year Samsung elected to go with the MediaTek Dimensity 9300 Plus, and they're saying that we should expect up to an 18% improvement in CPU performance, 28% in GPU, and 14% in NPU when compared with the Tab S9 Ultra. Now, I know that some users have asked me about the use of MediaTek chip versus the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip. I don't know what the reason for this switch was. I'm sure Samsung had a valid one. And for everything that I've done so far, from multitasking to gaming, the Dimensity 9300 Plus has worked very well. And speaking of gaming, I game a lot on my tablets. I love the big display of the Tab S10 Ultra because when I'm playing PUBG, I can easily see small movements, but it's also quite big and my hands get a little tired after playing for a while. Now, if you play with the tablet on a pillow or with your hands supported, then it's not really a big deal, but I just wanted to mention it. And of course, if you want to stream games and play with a controller, the Tab S10 Ultra is amazing because of the giant display. Now, another advantage advantage of such a big display is multitasking, where I can have 3 tiled apps running at the same time, and there's plenty of space for each app. If I don't have a laptop with me and I want more of a desktop feel, I can boot up Dex, which loads up an OS that is very similar to what I get on a laptop. It gives me an actual desktop with icons, folders, a taskbar. I can open multiple windows, snap them to half the display, and even have floating windows. It works great with a keyboard case. I can actually pair a mouse to if I wanted to, and at home I would be able to pair an external keyboard and an external display for a dual display setup. All right, so it's now the end of the day, and let's talk about updates, where Samsung now offers 7 years of security and OS updates, which I think is really good. All 3 models of the Tab S10 Ultra come with a micro SD card slot, which allows you to expand the internal storage by up to 1.5 terabytes. And this storage has worked great for me with both games and apps. Now, as far as price in the US, you're looking at $1199 for the 256 gigabyte model, $1319 for the 512 gigabyte version, both of which come with 12 gigabytes of RAM. And if you need more storage, there's a 1 terabyte model for $1619, which comes with 16 gigabytes of RAM. So right now it's a little bit after 9 p.m. and the battery life is at 38%. Now, realistically speaking, battery life is not the biggest deciding factor for me when I'm choosing a tablet, because I can pretty much always get a few minutes of charging here and there, or I have a power bank with me. But I know that that's not true for every user and every use case. I'm also finishing up a detailed battery drain test of the Tab S10 Ultra and the Tab S10 Plus, plus comparisons with the new iPads. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure that you're subscribed and have notifications turned on. And by the way, when you do need a charge, the Tab S10 Ultra can fast charge at up to 45 watts when wired. So ultimately, what do I think about the Tab S10 Ultra? Just like the previous model, it actually could be the best Android tablet on the market right now if you're looking for an incredibly beautiful and big display, a powerful ecosystem, good camera and speakers, great multitasking capabilities, tons of AI features, and outstanding long-term support. So let me know which tablets you want me to compare it to. You know what I always say? Buy it nice or buy it twice. Good luck and see you soon.